Oh, what the... Guys, what happened to honor and democracy and everything?
Нет, я понимаю. Просто я соскучилась.
People don't just turn into things.
I do.
The guy with the money. And the gun.
Nailed it. I know. Thank you. Moving on.
Do you hear that? It's the winds of change.
Welcome, Animation Club School. I'm very happy to see a lot of hellos in the chat already. Hello to me, to Ksenia. Hi, I'm very happy to see all of the messages. I see kindly share the exact time for the session. I wish we could. Unfortunately, organizing stuff doesn't really work like that. I wish I could say like you can go to 3 or 5, but usually you can give yourself a couple of minutes to set a coffee. Then there's probably going to be a promo, and then it's going to be us. But usually we try to say the closest time as possible, but still very much thank you for your patience. I'm very happy to see you here, whether live or in a recording. For those who don't know who we are, what we do, this is Animation Club School. This is an online school where we practice animation and for now visual development, but there's much more to come because we have professionals from all over the place, from all different branches and industries in 2D animation and more, possibly in the future. Who knows? You can go to the links down below to check us out. Because our courses start on June 19th if you want to go start animation. And today we have a special workshops. We usually do workshops on the YouTube channel with our mentors. And today we have Ksenia. Say hi to the chat, and chat, say hi to Ksenia. Be nice, leave a couple of likes. Today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic. I'm extremely passionate. I'm trying to withhold all of my excitement to kind of pace it out throughout the stream. But in general, we're going to talk about techniques in animation because animation, it's a medium that has been with us with more than 100 years already. Not that new. So there's a lot of stuff and places people have experimented through different cultures, through different scientific breakthroughs. So today we're just going to talk about all of these different dimensions because 2D and 3D animation is incredibly powerful, amazing, and very technically hard, and it's very beautiful on an artistic level as well. But there's just a whole world. Sometimes we miss hyper focusing on one specific thing or technique. So today we're gonna give you a little bit more variety. So, Ksenia, would you like to say a couple of stuff about yourself? Introduce yourself to those who haven't seen you yet.
Yeah, of course. Hello to everyone. My name is Ksenia Inozemtseva, and I'm a 2D animator, an animation teacher also, and a comic artist. And I worked on such projects as My Father's Dragon by Cartoon Saloon, and also Unicorns by Candy Tartakovsky. And yeah,
Amazing.
again, you are surprised. Yeah.
Yes, it happens all the time. If you were at the last stream, that also every time she mentions that she has been on Unicorns Warriors Eternal, I'm very surprised. It's completely new information for me every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to talk about animation today, and at some point I was asked to give a lecture on animation for students who have nothing to do with it, and I have been thinking for a long time about this topic and what I want to tell about it, and I want them to be interested in it, and I want them to be inspired by it, and because animation is a magic for me, and I want them to see it. And in sort of a topic, I began to delve more and more into this topic, and began to discover a lot of new things. I think most people know about animation, that there is a 2D animation and 3D. That's it.
Mhm.
In the best case, they know something about stop motion animation and maybe about animation from clay, and that they hate it in their childhood. Do you hate it?
Clay animation? No, personally, I always like clay animation. Maybe because when we're kids, we all had like these basic cameras and everyone had clay. So definitely everyone in their like personal archive have a little like stop motion animation with just like super dirty, the camera is dirty, you're
Yeah,
6, just
I
worms.
know many people who hated
Mhm.
this animation from clay because it was dirty, and they didn't like to see it, like to watch
They don't
it.
appreciate the grime.
Yeah, yeah, but I appreciate it always. And today I invite you to become researchers on this topic with us. And today Kate and I will show you pieces from animation films, and we will talk about different animation techniques and mediums.
Yes, amazing. Just before we jump right into the main thing, to the meat of today's stream, I have a couple of rules I want to set up for the chat and the Q&A, because workshops are a thing for the chat as well. It's an interactive thing because you can ask your questions if you have any questions about animation, the school, anything we will be able to answer. Feel free to type it in chat. If we won't be able to answer, if we'll probably ask someone else, or we'll just say that we're not able to. But in general, I wanted to ask you to be nice, supportive, and also if you have any animations that we haven't mentioned and you think that would be a good addition to this kind of roster kaleidoscope of these different techniques, because we're going to publish like a Google Doc with all of the links, so you'll be able to watch all of these animations on your own. You can also add them to our Discord server. If you go down the link below in the description, there should be a link to our Discord server, and just send your animation of choice in, either in the main chat, or you can go to a special server called Reference Inspirations, where you can actually just post your references and inspirations you have in your kind of animation career. And I think, yeah, that's it. Now we can finally start
Okay,
discussing the
let's start
animation.
just watching cartoons. It's like
Yes.
our favorite things.
This
Yeah.
is Saturday morning.
Yeah. And first of all, I want to start with cartoon by Alexander Petrov, and it's animation on glass with paints.
Mm.
We just will watch small piece.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Animation on glass has just like an amazing feel to it.
And every frame was painted by hand
Mm.
with, yeah, and it's so amazing how he did it. And you just can't do a mistake.
Yeah, you have to keep everything in mind. All of the colors, all of the tones, shades. That's absolutely insane. A similar method, I think, was used. There was this recently a feature animated film. I forgot what it was named, about like peasants in Poland. I think
Mhm.
Shopee or something, but I'm not sure. And it was painted oil on like, I think, glass as well.
Mhm.
And they painted like just incredible amount of frames, and they all of them just look like paintings like from a museum. It's insane how much work goes into this.
Yeah, and so much work and so much time to do such
Exactly.
animations. Yeah, and I think this cartoon was nominated by Oscar
For an Oscar?
for an Oscar. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. And the second example will be animation with silk screen printing.
Oh, before we go completely to
Yeah.
silk screen, actually, I remembered there was a couple of instances where, in anime, if you actually want to see in Mob Psycho, a lot of these psychic scenes they had to kind of show this expressiveness of their power. They used paint on glass as their representation of power. So if you want to see like modern representation of this technique, I would suggest to go and watch Mob Psycho. Watch Mob Psycho in general because it's very good. But like if you want to see some cool ways to implement it in like a production, Mob
Yeah,
Psycho is the
and
go.
yeah, I want to talk about it that when we talk about such specific techniques and mediums, we rather think of independent animation. But and of course it's true because commercial and
Yeah, it's hard, you know, to plan for a
it's
big
hard to
production
combine.
oil.
But you can remember such cartoons as you said, for example, or I remember the Gumball universe. It's a very nice.
Mhm.
Have you watched
Oh
it?
yeah, exactly. Just a
Yeah,
mishmash.
it's a very nice example because they experimented a lot. And
Yes.
you can see puppet animation, cutout animation, and stop motion, and everything else. And many people love this project precisely for its uniqueness and this experimental approach.
And it wasn't easy, I think, because there was this, I think, pilot they shared, and like half of the characters look completely different. They had to probably rework and make so many versions that all of these different mediums work like and look good together. Because if you just mishmash stuff, usually without any warning, it just could clash with each other. It needs to be still harmonious and look chaotic.
And I think maybe Gravity Falls also, they made one episode with characters from clay also.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same,
If you
same.
remember such projects, type in the
Yes.
chat, please.
Yes, exactly. If there's something we haven't noticed, I would lovely let's just watch
Yeah.
it. And we can also add it to the Google Doc.
Yeah, of course. Because I really want to know, like, find something new, some new examples. Yeah, let's look at this animation with silk screen printing. And also
For
every drawing was printed on the paper and
Mhm.
also with different colors.
Yes, for those who are not familiar with the process of screen printing, because I love screen printing. I don't have a screen printing kit. My friend has, but we've been obsessed with it. I think we screen printed on everything we had on our clothing. There's like a piece of something we printed. So basically, what you have to do to just get one frame, you have to get a big wooden frame. You have to put some chemical stuff on the wooden frame. You need to let it harden. You need to take a picture. You need to cut the black parts you need on the picture, either transfer it on special paper or just like draw it on top of the thing. Put it under the light for a couple of hours. It needs to set. Then you go to the bathroom. You take that wooden frame with all the chemical stuff in it. You take off the film, the picture, and then you just slosh it with water until all of the chemical stuff that hasn't hardened that's gone. It's messy. It takes like one screen print, depending like if it's a new screen print, depending on like how you work, it could take like up to several hours if you're just doing like it for the first time. So having all of these images and plus having it in multiple colors means either there were multiple screens they had to use and wash for every frame, or I don't know, probably first. So insane how much work goes into it. And
Yeah,
what's so cool?
and
It's
sorry.
sorry. I get it like
You can,
insane. This is a topic I get
yeah,
absolutely rabid.
and you can go the easy way, like you can just draw it, but people want want a
Right,
challenge.
right. Exactly. Oh, this reminded me about There's a big studio called Line Animation, and they recently did a superhero project because I think they're partnered with Marvel. They do just a lot of stuff for them recently, and they had this one shot where they wanted to imitate old comic books. So they animated everything frame by frame on computers. Then they made this like special kind of filter for it to look like print, and then they printed it in a risograph. So it's a real Rizzo every frame, and you can see all of the inconsistencies, all the texture. It looked so good. It's like stuff like this takes so much time, but the nuances it gives, the texture of the paper and everything, it's like it's worth it.
Yeah, so nice. I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll show it later. I'll add it to the thing. Not to the thing, but I'll probably add it somewhere.
And next thing I want to show embroidery animation.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
things just insane because you need to embroider every frame, and
Yes.
it's so long.
And we just talked about how much screen printing takes, how much a thing like this would take, even on a machine, because like they could be probably like machine stitched, but
Yeah,
these
but
probably
it
hand by
was
hand.
yeah, hand by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Insane.
yeah, you can see it. This
Wow. And of course, it's not just like, oh, this like took so much time every frame, so that's why it's valuable. That's not the reason. The medium is like a means to an end to express an idea. And usually I think mediums themselves, they carry a message of its own. I think if it was just like a digital animation, it would be cute and cozy, but it would be nowhere near kind of the emotional resonance it gives being like sewn on, I think. It's not just the textures, I think. It's the emotions the medium carries with it that like gives it an extra punch. And I
yeah,
mean, of
but
course, the
also you
effort.
can appreciate the time of this person.
Yeah, yeah. The dedication it takes.
Yeah.
Oh, plus you can have like very pretty murals with this kind of animation. You can just put all of the frames on one wall.
Yeah.
Oh, even the smears.
So beautiful.
Just amazing. Oh, reminds me of these embroideries of waterfalls where they would just like pull threads out of the embroidery to imitate like water falling. Beautiful.
I want a movie with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next thing is pixelation. Yeah. You just need you don't need a paper, you just need people. And you just animate people.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, and it was a very famous music clip.
Oh, I love this. I think the style is called pixelation,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Yeah.
Having nothing to do with pixels.
Yeah. Also, I have another example.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I wanted to say like the modern uh interpretations, like when on TikTok people do these like exaggerated poses. You can it's probably it's close to pixelation with some editing. I remember there was like a year ago a big meme in the animator sphere about the specific girl who did like a TikTok pose or something, and she did it the way like animated characters would be animated. And she edited herself to have these like very clear arcs and to have like this movement and stuff. Amazing.
And I like that the technique was chosen because of the story, because of the plot, not just out of nowhere. Yeah, because his parents were like dolls. Yeah, and it was a smart choice.
Yes, if they're not moving on their own.
Yeah, and next thing is a bit similar, but different. And it's very funny cartoon. They animated photos.
Oh, I've seen this one actually. Amazing. I absolutely forgot about this one. All good. Vitaly is the host.
Все, в эфире.
Yay, we're back. Knock, knock, knock. Are we there? And there's like, ooh, the mic is just blaring. We're like trying to adjust it. Give us a second. Give us a second. If you can see us, chat, type it that you can see us. For now, we'll move on. If they aren't able to, they'll just say that they can't see us. Oh, no, I can see us on the screen. All good. We can go on.
Okay. Yeah, we saw a cartoon made with photos, and let's continue. And yeah, next thing, oh my God, it's one of my favorite examples, animation on a typewriter.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I haven't seen all of the videos you've sent me before, but yes, that one.
I was amazed. Because, I've never thought that a person can do this.
So incredibly creative. If you want to watch the originals, we'll share the link to the Google file in the description a bit later after the stream ends. But if you're watching this in a recording, it's probably already there now. Plus, if you have any fun examples of your own, feel free to share it in the chat, in the Discord server as well.
And next cartoon will be animation with different type of deer. And you can imagine how hard it is to move deer.
Oh, how cute.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I also seen this one as well.
No.
Oh, I love this one.
And I think this cartoon about India. Yeah, this.
Oh, I don't exactly remember. I remember the beautiful pictures, and I remember someone was talking about the process of like creation. They had some parts they were just doing with tea, some parts were I think after animated like an After Effects with puppets. That's just what I remember.
Mhm.
I remember the cute ant though. Little guy. Oh, actually, about animation and ants, surprisingly, there's one very interesting channel on YouTube. I think it's called Kurzgesagt. You can basically just find like it's very popular. I'm probably gonna share it in the thing later. But they have a series of videos which are like documentary animation, you could say, about different species of ants having these global wars on each other. It's like Warhammer,
Wonder.
but like with ants. And they're just, yeah, how they fight, how they like control their
They
territories, how there's
fight.
like a global super colony of ants. Yes. It's not about animation. I'm gonna stop with the I'm not gonna elaborate, but I'm gonna share the link. So if like World War with ants interests you, you should probably go watch
I
a
thought
cartoon about it.
that they're very friendly and peaceful.
Well, it
No,
depends how close they are to each other. Oh,
I'm
they're
sorry.
horrible different ants. It's like a whole world of different like just units going on war with each other all the time.
I thought that they're just busy workers and that's it. No.
Oh.
And I
No,
thought
it's
that
much more
we
interesting.
need to be like them, but no. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're lucky
Let's continue
similar.
with animation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you want to talk about other stuff, but let's continue with animation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And next thing will be a cartoon by Harry Barton, I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's a Russian director, and he experimented a lot. Yeah, and
Technically,
his
he's
cartoons.
Armenian.
Sorry.
Well, technically, he's Armenian.
Ah,
Yeah, he is, I think. No?
but he was
Maybe
born.
I'm mistaking
He
him.
was born in Ukraine.
Oh, really? Then I'm really mistaking him.
But yeah,
Then my bad.
we need to check.
We'll check. Show the cartoon and I'll Google him since I
Yeah.
have a little bit my free chat open. And he was so interesting with his mediums. He also has a very cool short called Boxing Match, where there's like a white and a black boxer made from clay. And every time they punch each other, like a piece of their clay goes into the other fighter. So in the end, they both like turn into this like one gray mush. Amazing. And again, just like I talk about the mediums, like the medium, part of the medium, like is the message. The message wouldn't be possible in his cartoons without the medium. We can even watch a little bit more of this, but if it's too long, I can just share like what it ends with. I don't want to spoil it, but the medium is kind of the message. And
Yeah.
as you can see, he has like special resources he's using. Oh, and a little bit of like I wonder how they did the little droplets and stuff. Here, probably they did it just with foil, but with the little droplets. I
Mhm.
wonder if they drew it on celluloid, it's like straight on top.
I have visited his studio.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and I met him and I talked with him.
No way.
Yeah.
You should have kept an autograph for me.
No, for you, no.
Uh, no, he's from Orenburg. It's a Russian city.
Oh, okay. I think okay. Never mind. He's just genius director and animator. That's it. Yeah, it's not important. Yeah.
Oh, just
Let's continue. And now we have, oh my God. It's just, it's needle screen animation. Do you know this?
pin
Yeah.
screen, yeah.
And this technique of needle animation was invented in the early 1930s by Alexander Alexeyev. Sorry, yeah. And its essence is that the needles move freely in the holes of a vertically standing screen, and when pressed, form a sculptural shape on the other side. And the animation image itself is created by the shadows cast by the needles. And the number of needles can range from several tens of thousands to a million.
Amazing. Do you
And
know how big the pin screen was? How big was it?
I don't know. Yeah, I have a
Many
picture
needles.
of this screen, but it's just a small one.
Still. Yeah, exactly. Like those attractions where you would press your face in and you would look really goofy. And you see, it just emulates like the volume. And they're working with like tones and shapes. I wonder what it's like to see that animation, but like not from the front, but from the side. Like what shapes are they using to do that kind of shadow work with it? What brain do you need to have to do that? I probably said this like 6 times already.
Yeah, and this cartoon by Michel Lemierre. And I think there are only 3 tables for this needle animation in the world.
Or
It's the same. Because it's so hard.
because how many needles you would need to put together like a frame like that? It's not like screen printing, but you could like
No,
DIY
I think there are just 2 tables and only 3 people did this needle animation.
Well, obviously, you need like some special software in your brain to just be capable of kind of thinking of this. It was pre-installed.
Yeah, and next thing is 3D printed stop motion animation. And it was made with 3D pencil. Do you know how that's?
Oh, yes, I know this one. It's also very sad. Oh.
And it's so amazing that a person choose this technique instead of just drawing.
Exactly.
It can be so simple to draw these characters, but no, I will do it with 3D pencil.
But I think I don't remember like the end and I don't want to spoil it, but I think also the 3D pencil plays like the key role. Yeah, there we go. This I remember that she like slowly unravels herself. I just didn't remember how soon it started.
I like that there is a volume and a perspective here.
Exactly. It's not just like on a 2D screen.
Yeah.
They're using the 3D medium to their advantage. With the cup. And she has a thread behind her. Oh.
Yeah. We don't want to spoil.
We don't want to spoil, but
Yeah.
you can probably
You
for
can,
to
you
watch the
can
full movies,
just
we can
watch it.
always
Yeah.
exactly. We're just giving you a little taste test. This is like a charcuterie board of different kinds of animation, and we're just like taking out the best places.
Yeah. And next thing, just out of the world, and it animation with jelly. And when I found out that you can do animation with jelly, I was like, oh, sorry. Just one sec. Yeah. And it looks disgusting on one hand.
But that's how cell stuff amazing. But I mean, that's exactly how like cell stuff would look. It would be this like mushy, wriggly. Ooh. The only
And
thing I'm interested is I wonder what kind of temperature was in the room. I wonder if the jelly like melts, like how quickly it would like lose its shape.
Mhm.
It
And
looks like a pretty thin layer. Yeah, sorry.
after this cartoon, I thought that you can do animation with everything.
There's actually a fun technique. I think it was used a lot in the 60s and 70s of just they don't exist anymore. But when I was young, and people who are a bit older than me, and also when they were young, there was like this special type of projector where you had a camera, a lamp going down on the like flat piece of paper, and you would usually put a piece of paper, and it would show big on the big screen. So kind of analog. What do you call it? Analog projector. And people would take and create these little trays of oil, like different colored oil and water, and they would mix it together, like with music going in the background. So it would be like a trippy, like procedural animated music video you do like on the little projector of yours, and also insane type of thing you could do. Not exactly animation. It's very free form because it's just water and oil wiggling around on the screen, but kind of reminded me a little bit.
Yeah. It's just for me, it's just hard to look at it.
I would love to see like a 2D
stunning
animated
and
movie.
beautiful, but
Yeah.
no.
I would love to see like a traditionally animated movie with this type of like animation in like some kind of gory or scary part to just completely throw everyone off. So they would feel like this kind of visceral. These changes of mediums, they throw like these punches. They could signify like a very big emotional change as well. Ah, yes.
Yeah. You have seen everything.
Well, I mean, you did send me the doc. There's still a place for 2D, 3D. I mean, not 2D. The only thing, I'm not very sciencey, but what are these like atoms of what are these? This is like water? I
I
wonder.
also sent the link on this document, and
Yeah.
you can see how
Ah, there's the
it's
original vid. That's right. Let me actually see. Maybe if I'll find it in less than 2 minutes, I'll be able to answer my own question. I've seen a couple of people sending their questions, like Pedro Ramos, and I can't read your nickname because you don't have any vowels. But the questions like these are better for our Discord server because our Discord server is more catered to helping with animation requests. Plus, I mean, you're at Animation Club School, and if you want to learn animation and you have problems and you want to improve your animation, this is a perfect way to go to our site and check our courses because they start pretty soon. Our short film, it starts on June 10th, and our animation courses start on June 19th, right after NC. So this is a perfect time for you to think about if you want to start your journey in animation. Maybe not specifically like Atom, stop motion animation, or jelly animation, but they do have all of the same principles. So going through the first course at least, I think would be a good addition to your vocabulary as an artist. Okay, segue over.
Yeah.
We can get
Let's
back.
continue. And yeah, we watched cartoons, and we can choose a medium, what we want to animate, but also we can choose on which surface we want to animate. Like you can choose a paper, for example, or I don't know, maybe a wall.
Or no paper at all.
Yeah. Yeah, we found a cartoon that was painted on the wall.
Oh, you know what you should also watch? If it's something like you like, there was this cool animation called La Casa Lobo, which is have been animated on a house. They've been painting on all of the walls, the figures.
Yeah. Mhm.
Insane movie. And it has a lot of context to it. It's about Chile and about a very
Mhm.
unstable political time in Chile. And it's about a mother who I think she's protecting her kids.
Mhm.
And it's very emotional, but like a little bit hard to watch. But if it's something like this, if it's something that you like, this will be absolutely up your alley. Oh, I just realized that wasn't the window is just painted. It was painted in the last shot. It wasn't real.
Yeah,
And
and
the
I like
Analeta
that
logo.
they combine these things, that these are painted, but these are real things.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, this.
So silly too. Reminds me of Prismo from Adventure Time. Because he was like an interdimensional guy and he was always projected on the walls.
Mm.
He would like move his hands and it would just go like on the walls, over the corners and everything. Leonardo Romero says that in the end of the Atom Boy, it's stop motion animation. Oh no, are you talking about the Barden animation one? Because let me read the whole comment. I like how Yang Svankmajer uses different materials for his animations, and have you seen his movies? I have. I'm like a fangirl of Yang Svankmajer. It's a very interesting guy. I forgot from country he's from, but he also does these like very interesting stuff with their mediums. One of my favorite animations of his is I think called Dialogue, where there's basically a bunch of different heads made of different materials. They meet, and when they talk, they exchange these materials, and they basically transform into like these different beings. And like just he's a very cool guy. So yes, I know of him. Love him.
Yeah. Let's continue with chalk. I think chalk animation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think it's kind of 2D animation.
Hmm. Well,
Like,
yeah.
you draw it frame by frame, but I think it's also you can see it. It works like a light table
Hmm.
in our
Yeah,
software.
sorta. You can't completely delete the
Yeah.
lines. I like how the previous drawings on that board, it almost looked like there was like a lot of kids behind them, almost standing like in rows. Wow. It's like those animations on YouTube in 2014 when there was like a bunch of Polaroids and people running through those Polaroids or something. Very cool.
Morphing.
Hmm. Oh, and the little arrow. I just love how there's like remnants of previous frames always there. Looks very cool. Mm.
Now I think about an analogy that
Mhm.
this is the future on the right side, and this is the
Mhm.
past on the left side.
Mhm.
And of course,
Yeah.
you remember everything.
Yeah. It almost reminds me like of for like if in 4D, I think we would I think there was like maybe I'm probably misremembering something, but I think in like we live in the 3D world, so we go like up and like to face sideways. And I think in 4D, our place in specific time also is like important. So in 4D, I had this like always idea that we would look something like this, just a bunch of us copies, like long, big sausages of people just like overlapping with each other everywhere.
It was just
But I might just like mixed a lot of stuff together.
yeah. And the next thing is animation on just not on the paper, but exactly on the film tape. I think I
On
don't
the
know.
celluloid. Yes.
Yeah,
I've also
you
included
send, yeah, you sent me
one thing.
the example also.
Yeah, I think they call it either like scratch film because you
Mm,
literally scratch stuff on the
yeah.
celluloid, or it's called direct animation because you don't have a camera to film the animation, you just have it directly.
Yeah, and also about this example about this cartoon, you don't you can't do a mistake.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not even
And
like
I
paint,
always afraid of
scratch.
this. And recently I tried to draw on paper, and now it's more simpler for me to draw on paper. But earlier I was so afraid to draw on paper because there is I can't do a mistake.
Right.
Yeah,
Ah.
and it's so
The
hard.
amount of times I would draw something and automatically my hand would go like
Yeah,
on paper. I'm like an iPad baby trying to zoom in on a window.
yeah. And but also I think it's simpler to draw one thing, one drawing. But if you want to draw animation, and you place your character maybe a bit lower than you want. Yeah, exactly.
It's just like straight up everything off the table.
Yeah, and I remember like maybe 5 years ago, I tried to draw with animation paper, and I drew the second frame, and I saw that it's not I wanted, and I was like, ah. And I drew it
Love
on
it.
digital. That's it.
Usually when I animate something and then I go back to the first frame, delete it, and just redraw the first frame because I did
Oh,
have no idea what I was doing. And then you fix it in reverse
it's a nice method, I
and
think.
lose the initial idea you had.
Okay. And next thing is hard for me to pronounce, but it's phenakistoscope. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna even repeat it. It's too hard.
You should, because I will send you in the chat. Please.
Oh, I have the doc open.
Yeah, but I really like this clip. I like the music and how the animation was created. And yeah, this device It's the first animation device.
Mhm. So cool. Insane that the animation medium
now-
exists just because our brains work like that. They just perceive animation like that, so it just works.
You can see these old devices, animation devices.
Mhm.
And now
Oh,
I
to
really
be an
want to
animator
try.
drawing these things. Oh, that would be so fun.
I really want to try now. And this is a 3D thing.
Oh yeah. Again, a modern usage in anime for those who want to see an anime that has like fun styles. Bocchi the Rock has like a school festival like scene made on a zoetrope. So it's her going anxiously through the festival and just like a bunch of people going at her moving. And they did like a whole multi-layered like zoetrope to do that.
It's very nice that I thought that everything animation like this in the past, already in the past,
Mhm.
but no.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's still place for all of it.
Yes.
And what's interesting, all of these animations, they still use all of these like 12 principles of animation. So no matter kind of what you did, if you had already experience in one field of animation with these principles, you would already you're able to retranslate your skills into a different medium. It's still kind of in the same skill set. Well, not almost in the same skill set, but principles are there. So the foundation is there.
Yeah. And I think the last cartoon I want to show you, this music clip, and the faces of the movement of the characters stand as objects along the road. Just one sec. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It
Like
reminds me of there's actually a thing for cars for the drivers so they won't sleep on the road. It's called like music road or something. They basically do specific dents in the road, just like here, but like audioly.
yeah, I
So
know.
the bumps on the car will imitate different notes. So if you ride on the correct speed,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
actually hear the music while you're
Yeah.
driving.
Nice.
Same thing. Well, almost.
Yeah, and now the 2D man.
Yeah. This is me like driving in my mom's car, just imagining people like this running.
And
Yeah, not
now,
spoiling anything.
yeah. Do you want to show your?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we didn't prepare for my screen.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I mean,
I can share it and you can talk
oh,
about it. Yeah.
yeah, if you can, sure. We can just mute and I'll just talk. I think I can I can talk for like all the 5 minutes. I can just replace the audio. I'll have words to say.
Just 1 second.
Yeah,
Oh,
for sure.
it's a lot. Dun, dun, dun.
If you want to, you can turn off. Oh no, leave it on. Let's keep it on.
Yeah.
Or for now. Yeah, all good. Amazing. So this is also Scratch animation. I missed the Scratch animation Ksenia posted in the doc, so I'm including like a different version of how to use a Scratch film here. They don't have any footage behind it, so it's just clear celluloid camera or just screening that celluloid. The only thing I think they did is they just painted just several blocks with different colors. And I just wanted to notice how incredibly emotional this looks. This looks like just someone's like thoughts, like very jumbled memories, just like pushed onto the screen, like this road. insane. And it was made, I think, in 1988.
Mm.
So someone just like woke up and came up with the idea to just do this and make me cry. Another one I wanted to share. Oh, the strata-cut. This is a website because strata-cut, it has a very interesting history. Strata-cut is basically a type of stop motion animation.
Mhm.
I think a good example I've showed, it's like a little bit below from Adult Swim.
Mhm.
Or these are also amazing examples. It's just like a whole technique where you prepare a big block, you prepare stuff that goes into that long sausage of clay, and it will have different images and stuff depending on how good you plan it. Then you take a knife and you just cut sections and film it, cutting it off. And the result is basically this. Well, they have it reversed, but you can imagine the whole thing. And it was initially like a very niche technique in the 1930s. I think the last one who did it before kind of the resurgence of strata-cut, the last one who did it was, oh, I forgot her name was. This very influential lady. She did these like cutout animations, cutout shadow animations. Let me see. Because I think I had strata-cut somewhere open. Maybe. Or not. I don't. But basically they were Latte Rainer, I think. I'll add it because I remember the name. Prince Ahmed was the name of the feature film, but I don't remember the director. And she used like a very primitive version of this, a very abstract one. But basically, there was just two guys. They created an animated short in 2006 called Buzzbox, and they basically facilitated the style and kind of coined it. So now this guy, he does like courses on strata cuts. There's also another interesting guy. His name is, I forgot because I'm very bad with names, actually. I'm good with images. And there's this guy who created Hylix. I love this. He's one of my favorite artists, and I don't remember the name. And he did a bunch of graphics for his website. So like, there's like this whole message like strata cut. I think that was made by the guy who made Hylix. Oh, another one is it's her name is Mary Ellen Boot. She was an American kind of abstractionist. She was like a pioneer of this kind of type of animation. She was all about sound and image going together. So you have to watch these with sound,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna leave it. No, you don't have to turn it on.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can
Mhm.
leave it, just so you can see the pretty picture. And what's interesting, before she started animating, she had lectures because she was like a painter, she was academically and everything. And she had a lecture about like the relationship between sounds and music. And she was like, well, there's not like a lot of relationship between each other. Like one shouldn't be really connected to each other. And then she made like a bunch of movies just about the relationship of sound
Uh-huh.
and
Sound
it's just
pictures, yeah, sound and
yeah, sound and pictures. She would just use like
Mhm.
different tracks. Here, I think it's Tantarella. No,
Yeah,
yes, it's
yeah, yeah,
Tantarella.
yeah.
It's a beautiful track. And it's just
Tarantella.
Tarantella. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I'm bad at reading as well. And the graphics also, they look amazing. So all of the like motion graphics, all of these like going circles in and out. She was one of the person who kind of started this whole movement. There was this another guy who actually took a lot of her glory, and a lot of films they did together are accredited only to him, but I don't remember his name. And I think this is perfect retribution for her that I don't even remember the name of that guy. So, and oh, another movie I wanted to show relating to the sound and music. Basically, there's this guy. His name is Louis Armstrong. You probably heard of him. If you're not, you probably heard of his music. And he is incredibly talented jazz musician. And this guy, who I don't know the real name of because I only know them through YouTube. That's the only way they publish their work. There's
Mhm.
probably like a name in the description, but I'm bad with names. And he also loved this guy as much as I do, and created this animation. And what's interesting, he creates this structure, and different parts of the building respond to the different parts of the music. So the structure, the big red railings is the main motif, that da 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 da.
Mhm.
So, and on this music, they build all of the piano notes and everything, and it's the furniture within the house. Whenever I see it, I get so excited. This is just like such an interesting way to visualize it, kind of show it, and you should watch it with music. Without music, it's amazing, but with music, you'll completely understand my excitement. Oh, hello, Micah Bozan. I'm subscribed to you, and I love your animations, and I'm very happy to see you on the on our YouTube channel. Oh, welcome. I love seeing your work on Instagram. So just kind of surprising. Another of my favorites. Also, I can't pronounce the name. This is called Tango. It's a little bit, I can't say it's completely like pixelation, but it's also a very interesting way animation can be done. Just how animation is such a creative medium that you can just do stuff like this. It's not a plot driven animation. It's rhythmically, musically kind of aligned. You can basically click through it, just like forward more, because it starts with just one boy, and then he starts adding more cycles, and they all sync with each other. You can forward more. You can just see how much there's gonna be. It's insane. I think he has like 40 people in the room, and it completely like diverges into
Something's happening.
chaos. Yes, completely. I love it. And they just go all over. There's people from all over. Oh, I think this one is I think like one of them is under a thing. But it's on YouTube, so get over it. And
Yeah.
I think
One-
oh yeah. We have two sources I also want to share. First of all, why am I like I can't say why am I know so much. I don't know a lot, but the way I got into learning about all of these styles and all of the stuff, the on the screen there's a book, but it wasn't the book. It's a book that's been recommended a lot by the people who basically got me into. And the way I got into learning about all of this like experimental animation is actually through memes. And I wanted to just note about how memes are like super influential in terms of like learning, because I stumbled on this account. It was reposted by a very interesting filmmaker. I think her name is Johnny Phillips, and she created a couple of very interesting YouTube shorts. My favorite is called Disciples of Essentia, I think. And it's also like experimental animation. And they like shared a link to this small channel. There was like, I think about 200 people like at the time. I think it's like 20K now. And I was like, oh, I'm in the niche. Like, what is this? What is this? And I was so like hyped to know. And I look at the memes and I don't understand anything. Like, I don't understand the references. I don't understand like the techniques, nothing. I knew nothing. And I was like, what do you mean I can't belong to this niche animation like community? Yes, I can. And I started just like every time they would share something, I would just Google what it is. I would watch it. I would like think about it. I would watch a couple of more her animations, especially they love the account is called 24 memes per second. It's like at the very bottom of the screen we're showing. But there's a link, you can always join it. And they love this animator called Susan Pitt. And I had no idea who she was before, and now I'm familiar with like most of her films. And it's just a very good way to learn and have fun at the same time, because the memes are very funny at the same time. And also the book we were showing beforehand, it was a book they personally recommend as a good anthology for you to learn about just the dimensions of animation, like what can possibly be done.
Interesting. I want to read it.
Yeah. So if you want something more like on the academic side, this is a spot like you can start looking at.
Yeah. And I want to discuss with you at the end of our stream how to choose the technique. Maybe different thoughts, because I have some thoughts about it. I choose, for example, maybe for example, you did 2D animation. You know how to do 2D animation. You will choose 2D animation, of course. Yeah, it's just a simple way. But also idea, of course, because, for example, you was offered to do vegetable advertising, and you think, oh, maybe I will do animation with vegetables. Yeah, something
Yeah.
like this. Yeah, because it was based on idea. And also I thought maybe you will choose a medium to make it cheaper. Because,
Also.
yeah, for example, you can choose rotoscope because, yeah, it's this technique when you can draw on the top of live action video. And on the animators did it on Disney and other studios. And I think I thought about it, and I thought that it's not used now so often in studios. What do you think? Rotoscope?
Well, it depends. I think people, in terms of specifically rotoscoping, I have no specific thoughts. I think it's a very good way to track stuff that it's too hard to track or it's too expensive just to animate from the start. I think it's just not popular now because people's perceptions on the rotoscoping specifically changed.
Yeah,
I think before it just wasn't really a thing people really discussed a lot. And now people, I think, associated with a lot of kind of, well, I mean, depending who we're talking about, the people, I mean, and I think even now, I think it's mostly young people who would probably look down on rotoscoping. Though not me.
I thought that when people they how to say created rotoscope or find out about rotoscope, they were like, oh, this will change everything. People do only rotoscope, that's it. But no, people want to
Yeah,
see
there's always a place.
vibrant movement, and yeah, we want to see other things.
Yeah. On that point, I completely agree. I think if there's like an introduction of a new tool or technique, it doesn't devalue or
Yeah.
erase immediately all of the effort and all of the time that was like given to one specific technique. Like the same with digital animation. There's not a lot of celluloid animation, but you can see how people value it. So if there's enough resources, people people actually do it. Same with like 2D animation. Klaus was created on the peak of this like 3D animation craze. Everyone wanted to be 3D. Everyone did everything 3D, and people were just like worried. And then people, like the best animators they could ever gather, just did something so amazing, and they ranked so much cash in that it showed the market that it's completely viable. Like all of these styles that people have been just swishing to the side because it's not like marketable or more easy, it's absolutely, worth having this seat on the table.
Yeah, and also about motion capture, the same thing. Like, I remember that when I was a 3D animator and I worked at studio, and we were afraid that motion capture will
Take your jobs.
yeah, take our jobs, but no. It didn't.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah, and we had a project with motion capture, but it was I don't know, we did our job after motion capture, and it was a lot of job. Like we still need to do our work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, and
Exactly, I understand.
also I think we can choose a technique. Maybe we want to experiment. We want to experiment. That's it. And when the technique is first, and then the plot. And also the last thing, if we want to do something unique, like and yeah, it's also about experiment. Like, we want to be the first who created animation with jelly, for example. Yeah.
And turns out there's like 100 years ago, there's just like a lady who did like a variety of films
Yeah.
on jelly already, and you're like, dang it. Well, I just have to enjoy it now.
But it's so disgusting. But I need to enjoy it.
But it's so goopy. I think it would be very fun, but it would probably be very sticky as well. They would probably have like a washing machine. They're just like just to wash hands after a couple of shots.
Yeah. That's it
But in
for me.
terms of, I think, techniques and mediums, I think a couple of I can't say I'm like very big on techniques and mediums. I've tried a bunch of stuff. I actually I'll give a link in what do you call it? In the very bottom of the doc. It's an unlisted video I had for like, no kidding, several years. And it was basically a little animation short I did for, I think, a contest. I didn't even like scored in like the top 10 or something. But in terms of like the relationship of the medium to the, for some reason I can't share the link. I'll share it later. I promise I'm not lying. Oh no, I did. For me,
Okay.
the medium answered a very specific question. There was basically this contest of like stationary office stuff. You're gonna show it to everyone. I
Yeah.
wanted to keep it like a little prize for the people on the dock. Well,
I
here
want
you
to
go.
see it.
This was in 2020. That was 4 years ago. I think this was like the first time I actually did like not just like a GIF, but something with like different mediums and stuff.
Oh, so cool.
Yes, I did. So basically, this was a contest for an office supplies company.
Mhm.
And you needed just to make a bunch of stuff with the supplies. They didn't provide, but you know, the supplies from their kind of shops and everything. So I created this little thing where all of the stuff were basically just stationary stuff. All of the backgrounds were stickers, like little notes. All of the characters were made from clay, very cheap clay.
Mhm.
I took a picture of it. I kind of took a picture, then I went through Photoshop, and then went through a bunch of like gradient and noise masks to create this kind of texture. And then animated everything on top in After Effects. So here it was like a simple kind of solution to kind of use the medium as this kind of tool for stylization and for the plot to be driven, because they basically, out of paper, they create this armor and the steeds and everything. And at the same time, it was to support the mood, the playfulness, and kind of the unseriousness of it all, because like the backgrounds are just like very crudely drawn sticker notes. Like this is not supposed to be taken seriously. And I think a digital 2D animation won in the end, but it was very good.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, I don't personally really like it. Plus, I didn't have any music for it because I was absolutely zero on understanding how to include music into your animations. Any kind of sound effects was not my thing. Thankfully, I will at least add something like royalty free. But now, yeah, looking back, like, why didn't I add anything to it? Why a silent movie?
Also, I really like the name.
I changed it because there was like an official name for the contest, but I don't want to show it. We don't need to promote them.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's the end of our stream.
Exactly.
And,
There's like a comment in the chat. Oh, hi. Of course I'm late. Shaking my head. It's okay.
That's
While we're still
lovely.
live, you can just straight up go to the start and go from the beginning and just imagine that you were on time. Or you can always watch this in a recording.
Yeah,
We probably, should probably roll to a close.
with this lecture, I want to show how diverse animation is, and this topic can be explored further, and you will always find something new for yourself. And also, when I found all these amazing cartoons, I was amazed at how creative people are, and what a great desire they have to experiment and create something new. Yeah, and
Exactly.
I want to inspire you.
Exactly. I completely agree. Plus, what's for me so fascinating that no matter how diverse and how different all of these like styles and mediums are, they still have like the same foundations behind it. For all of the good animations, you need basically the same principles, whether you're like doing it in this medium, in that. And here I am coming with the perfect segue that if you want to learn the foundations of animation, you
I
can
knew
also
it.
go to our website. Yeah, to our website, to our Discord. I've actually added a special tab with our courses and our free courses. So if you want to start with something free, you don't want to jump into like a whole multiple months kind of learning experience, you can always start with something small. Plus, with all of our workshops and stuff, you can casually upgrade your skills week by week. But if you're interested in maybe trying animation, the different varieties and mediums it has, but maybe start from digital 2D animation, you can always check our website and our courses because our course in 2D animation, the foundations, the body mechanics, the acting, and the short film are going to start in June. So if you want to go into short film creation, you should look through the site now because it starts on June 10th. So you have more time to create the idea for your short film. And on June 19th, we're going to have our regular regular animating courses where you go course by course and learn first the basics and then more complicated stuff. So segue over. That was smooth. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you to the chat for being so nice today, for asking questions. And I couldn't respond to every language, not every language, every question, because there were a couple of questions about books in different languages about these techniques. I personally can't name any because I mainly read all of this literature in English. But if I find something, I'll definitely add it to the reference and inspirations Discord. So you can always maybe later check it over there. I want to say thank you to Ksenia, and hopefully chat will give us a bunch of likes and thank yous to Ksenia as well that she prepared all of these materials and all of these animations and proposed this idea because I love streams like this where I just get to yap and yap and yap. People from my Discord server were probably just like just a regular Thursday sessions. Just Kata can't be able to shut up.
Yeah, it was nice to talk to you and
Yes.
also be there.
Yeah, topics like these are always fun. So yeah, I think we can probably finish on this amazing note. Again, it was interesting to see the results of the poll that we have actually a couple of people who do cutout animation. No stop motion animators though. So hopefully one day we'll get a little percentage there as well. But for now, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for watching this, whether live, recording. I was very happy to host this, and hopefully you had a fun time watching this as well. All of the cartoons in all of its glory, even my 2020 short, I had unlisted for all of this time. It had 2 views. Now is also going to be on that list. So if you want to see stuff I'm not comfortable showing, there you go. There's a reason for you to go through that doc and watch all of these amazing movies, and maybe you can click on mine just if you want to. But yeah, I think that's it. You want to say goodbye word, or we just smile and wave?
Goodbye, world.
Okay. Bye everyone. Hope you had fun.
Hello everyone, this is Animation School. My name is Edward Kurchevsky, and I'm professional 2D animator based in Paris.
Bobby, would you care for a piece of pie?
I studied animation over 10 years in one of the top schools in the world, and now I'm ready to share my knowledge with you. In the past 4 years of teaching, my students achieved remarkable results and working in studios like Cartoon Saloon, Skiald, studying in schools like Gobelin l'École de l'Image and CalArts.
I'm not sure what we've got here, Charlie. But if we've got what I think we've got something.
Our goal is to prepare qualified professionals in a short amount of time during our intense course. We are here to also create a bridge between you and studios and help you find your first professional position in industry. Online studying became one of the most important parts in worldwide education system, and I am pretty sure with us you will achieve great results. Good luck!
Oh, what the... Guys! Guys, what happened to honor and democracy and everything?
Нет, я понимаю. Просто я соскучилась.
People don't just turn into things.
I do.
The guy with the money. And the gun.
Nailed it. I know. Thank you. Moving on.
Do you hear that? It's the winds of change.